Netanyahu has a message for Donald Trump. Do not put F-35 fighter jets in Recep Tayyip Erdogan's hands. Israel says Turkey is no longer just a difficult ally, but a threat to the region's future. The F-35s, the Erdogan meeting, and the struggle for influence across the Middle East. Some weapons are too powerful to trust to an ally. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has urged the United States not to sell F-35 fighter jets to Turkey, warning that such a move could tilt the balance of power across the Middle East. Speaking to Fox and Friends on July 6th, the Israeli Prime Minister took direct aim at Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, accusing him of harboring ambitions well beyond Turkey's borders.
Look, Turkey is a great country, but it's governed by a man who calls openly for the annihilation of Israel. He occupies half of Cyprus, a NATO country. He's threatening Greece, another NATO country, and he talks openly about conquering Jerusalem.
Netanyahu went further, linking Ankara's government to the Muslim Brotherhood and describing it as hostile to the United States itself.
For a regime infected by the Muslim Brotherhood, an extreme movement that hates America and chants death to America from that side of the spectrum, I don't think they should be given F-35s or the engines for their fighter jets, because that'll upset the power balance in the Middle East, which is ultimately guaranteed by Israeli air superiority and also by, I think, by America's posture in the Middle East.
The comments land just days before Donald Trump is due to meet Erdogan at the North Atlantic Treaty Organization's summit in Ankara this week. Netanyahu also used the interview to push back on suggestions that his relationship with Trump has soured, insisting the two remain closely aligned. Asked about recent remarks from Trump that hinted at friction between them, Netanyahu brushed off the concern, saying the American president simply has his own way of putting things, much as he does himself. A meeting between the two leaders was confirmed on July 3rd, though no date has yet been set. Netanyahu said he hopes to use the sit-down to discuss implementation of the Israel-Lebanon peace deal, brokered with United States support, and to push the agreement further along. For now, Ankara waits to see whether Washington heeds the warning or moves ahead regardless. Former Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett has unleashed a bombshell accusation. Turkey is orchestrating a dangerous realignment of Middle East power, seducing Saudi Arabia into a hostile Sunni axis designed to encircle, isolate, and threaten Israel, with the shadow of nuclear-armed Pakistan providing the ultimate backing. Speaking amid rock-bottom relations between Ankara and Tel Aviv, Bennett equates President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's Turkey to a stealthier Iran, cunning, aggressive, and expansionist. Turkey and Qatar, he claims, are already dominating Syria and probing everywhere else, plotting to flip key players against Israel.
A new Turkish threat is emerging. I want to be very clear. Turkey and Qatar have gained influence in Syria, are seeking influence elsewhere and everywhere throughout the region. And from here, I warn, Turkey is the new Iran. Erdogan is sophisticated, dangerous, and he seeks to encircle Israel. We can't close our eyes again. Turkey is trying to flip Saudi Arabia against us and establish a hostile Sunni axis with nuclear Pakistan.
Once a cautious NATO ally, Turkey under Erdogan has exploded onto the global stage. Ankara mediates in Ukraine and Gaza, launches military ops in Syria, Iraq, and Libya, and flexes from Eastern Mediterranean gas disputes to Horn of Africa ports. Erdogan rails against the world of five, his jab at the UN Security Council's permanent powers, as a rigged game preserving nuclear monopoly for the elite club. This grievance hits hardest on nuclear double standards. Why do some states face sanctions for suspected programs while Israel's undeclared arsenal escapes scrutiny? The 2023 Gaza war supercharged this rhetoric, with Erdogan openly calling out the asymmetry and questioning why inspection regimes skip certain players. For years, it was principled outrage. Now, regional chaos makes it a strategic calculus. The spark? Cracking security architecture as US-Israel ratchet pressure on Iran. Erdogan warns that if Tehran crosses the nuclear threshold, neighbors, including Turkey, will race to match. Not from bloodlust, but survival logic. In a neighborhood sliding toward raw deterrence, nuclear capability becomes the only reliable shield against regime-toppling force. Turkey isn't starting from scratch. The Russian-built Akuyu nuclear plant trains engineers and builds institutions. Thorium reserves promise self-reliance, slashing vulnerable imports. These latency assets, dual-use tech, missile know-how, fuel cycle flirtations, let Ankara hover on the edge without treaty suicide. Overt weapons, political poison via sanctions and isolation. But ambiguity preserves options, especially amid whispers of external lifelines. Bennett's axis nails the connections. Turkey-Saudi relations, frosty after 2018's Khashoggi murder in Istanbul, have thawed via trade booms and defense talks. Riyadh won't stomach Iran solo with the bomb. Leaders hint at matching moves, possibly under Pakistan's deterrence umbrella. Islamabad, Islam's lone nuclear power, shares security bonds with Gulf monarchies and Turkey through informal pacts. Analysts spotlight the nightmare. Clandestine tech transfers within this Sunni triangle could slash breakout times, dodging IAEA eyes. Pakistan's warheads, Saudi cash, Turkish ambition. It's a proliferation contagion where latency becomes weaponized reality. For Israel, this obliterates Saudi normalization hopes, erecting a nuclear-shadowed bloc to counter Tehran while squeezing Jerusalem. Jerusalem sees apocalypse. Saudi as anti-Iran bulwark, dead. Incirlik airbase hosts US nukes under NATO, but a Turkish bomb snaps those chains, freeing Erdogan to escalate in Syria, the Med, or beyond. Disputes over F-35s, S-400s, and alliance loyalty grow toxic when Ankara holds escalation dominance. A nuclear Turkey rejects Western hierarchy outright, declaring strategic adulthood. Turkish officials dismiss Bennett's panic as paranoia, framing outreach as stabilizing diplomacy, not encirclement. Yet Gaza condemnations, Netanyahu's genocide warrants, and mass anti-terror arrests burnish Erdogan's Muslim world hero status. As Middle East blocs solidify, arms races globalize, and Iran's coercion selectively rules, Ankara signals, force Tehran into the bomb and watch the cascade. Threshold states like Turkey won't stay naked in a nuclear jungle. This isn't bluster, it's brinkmanship. A stable order needs universal rules and de-escalation, not pressure cooker tactics fueling middle power arms grabs. The Sunni axis, nuclear whispers included, risks turning regional rivalries into catastrophe math. Hypothetical today, inevitable tomorrow,